Hello students, let's do integers, exercise 1a. We are on page number 6 and we are with question 4, evaluate. The first question is 15 into 8. So that's normal multiplication and we just have two positive numbers, two positive integers. 15 into 8, 8 fives are 40, carry 4, 8 ones are 8 plus 4 is 12, so that is 120. So 15 into 8 is 120. Second question, 15 into minus 8. Now here we have a negative integer. There is one negative integer, the other is a positive integer. Now we are going to focus on the negative integers. Now what does this say? If there are an odd number of negative integers, the product means the answer that you get when you multiply, is always negative. So if there are an odd number of negative integers, that is, if we have one negative integer or 3 or 5 or 7, so on, if we have an odd number of negative integers, the answer will always be negative. So here we have one negative integer, isn't it? So this is that one negative integer. That means our answer is going to be negative because 1 is an odd number. So here our answer will have a negative sign. Then we multiply 15 into 8, which we have already done here. 15 into 8 and we got 120. So this is minus 120. Third one, we have a negative integer into a positive one. So one negative integer. So there is one negative integer, which is 1 is an odd number. So our answer will have a negative sign. So 15 into 8 is 120. Now here we have two negative integers, 1 and 2. Two negative integers. So what is, here we have two negative integers. So what do we know about it? If there are an even number of negative integers. So what are the even numbers? 2, 4, 6 and so on. So if we have two negative integers or four negative integers or six negative integers or simply an even number of negative integers, the product is always positive. So here my answer is plus. Then 15 into 8 is 120. So keep these two very important properties in mind when we work out all the multiplication sums. Now question 5, remember this property. If there are an odd number of negative integers, the product is always negative. If there are an even number of negative integers, the product is always positive. So what you have to do is, in your question, look out for the negative integers and see, count and see how many there are. So let's do it that way. So here we have 4 into 6 into 8. We don't have any negative integer. Let's do normal multiplication. 4 6 are 24. Now 24 into 8. Let's multiply 24 into 8. 8 fours are 32, carry 3. 8 twos are 16, 17, 18, 19. We have 192. Question 2. Here we have one negative integer. 1 is an odd number. That means our answer will have a negative sign. It's negative. Now 4 6 are 24. 24 into 8 we already did and got 192. Next one. Here look out for the negative integers. We have 1. 1 is an odd number. So our answer will have a minus sign. So 4 into 6 into 8 is 192. So the answer is minus 192. Next one. Here we have one negative integer. It's an odd number. So the answer will have a negative sign. And 4 into 6 into 8 is 192. So the answer is minus 192. Fifth one, look out for the negative integers 1, 2. So that is an even number. 2 is an even number. Now what does this property say? If there are an even number of negative integers, the product, that means the answer, is always positive. So here the answer is positive. Then 4 into 6 into 8 is 192. So the answer is plus 192 or 192. Here we look out for the negative integers. 1 plus 1, 2 negative integers. 2 is an odd number, even number. 2 is an even number. So the answer will be positive 192. Here again we have 1 plus 1, 2 negative integers. 2 is an even number. So answer is positive, and 4 into 6 into 8 is 192. So our answer is plus 192. Now the eighth one. Now here 1, 2, 3. We have 3 negative integers. 3 is an odd number. If we have an odd number, then our answer is negative. Then 4 into 6 into 8 is 192. So what's our answer here? Minus 192. Question 6. So again, before question 6, just go through this once more. If there are an odd number of negative integers, the product is always negative. If there are an even number of negative integers, the product is always positive. So let's see this. So here we have all positive integers. So we can directly multiply. So 2 4s are 8. 8 6 are 48. Now 48 into 8. Let's multiply. 48 into 8. 8 8s are 64. Carry 6. 8 4s are 32 plus 6 38. 384. And since they're all positive numbers, the answer is also positive 384. Next one, here there is one negative integer and 1 is an odd number. So if you have an odd number of negative integers, your answer will be negative. So minus sign. Now 2 4s are 8, 8 6s are 48, 48 into 8 we just multiplied and got 384. Now here we have 1 plus 1. We have 2 negative integers. 2 is an even number. That means our product will be positive plus. 2 4s are 8. 8 6 are 48. 48 into 8 is 384. Next one. Here we have 1, 2, 3 negative integers. Look out only for the negative integers. We have 3. And 3 is an odd number, so answer will be negative. Then you multiply. 2 4s are 8, 8 6 are 48, 48 into 8 is 384. Fifth one, let's count the negative integers. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 negative integers and 4 is an even number. So the product is positive. Now multiply. 2 4s are 8, 8 6 are 48, 48 into 8 is 384. So our answer is 384. Question 7. Determine the integer, that means find out the integer whose product with minus 1 is minus 47. That is, if I multiply a number with minus 1, my answer should be minus 47. Find out that integer. That is a question. So an integer into minus 1 is minus 47. What is that integer? That is my question. So let's write that down. Now if I multiply a number with minus 1, which is given to us in the question, my answer is minus 47. Okay, now let's think of the rule or the property we just learnt. If you have one negative integer, the product will be negative. So that means this number, this integer is a positive integer. One negative integer, answer is negative. So this is positive. So the sign we have found out, the sign is plus. What is the number? Now here 1 into what? Into which number will give us 47? 1 into 47 will give us 47. So now you can check your answer. Check this and see. 47 into minus 1. What is the answer? So one negative integer, answer is negative. 47 into 1 is 47. So we have found our answer. Our answer is this, that is 47. 47. Our answer is 47. Question 2. Here we have 63. Now we have to find out what we should multiply with -1 to get 63. So again, here we have one negative integer. If we have only one negative integer, answer should be negative. But our answer here is positive. That means we need to have one more negative integer. So we have found the sign. The sign is minus. So it's minus. Now 1 into what will give us 63? 1 into 63. So the integer that we had to find is minus 63. Now let's check our answer and see. Minus 63 into minus 1. So there are two negative integers. The answer is positive. 63 into 1 is 63. So this answer is correct. Now minus 1. What should we multiply into this minus 1, which is there in the question, minus 1, for us to get this answer, which is minus 1? What should we multiply? Okay, now we have one negative integer and our answer also is negative. That means this integer is positive. So we found the sign. The sign is plus. Now 1 into what will give us 1? 1 into 1. So our integer that we found out is plus 1. So this is our answer, plus 1. Next one, 0. So what should we multiply into minus 1 to get 0? Now 0 into any number will give us 0. So this integer has to be 0 because 0 into minus 1 is 0. So the answer is 0. So we have found all the answers here. So our first answer is 47. Second answer is minus 63. Third one is 1 or plus 1, and the last one is 0. Question 8. 18 integers are multiplied together. So there are 18 integers. What will be the sign of their product if, and a few questions are given to us. So here we have to say what the sign of the product will be depending on the questions. So let's just go through the previous properties that we learned. If there are odd number of negative integers, the product will be negative. The sign will be minus. Here the sign. So sign will be minus if there are an odd number of negative integers. If there are an even number of negative integers, the product is positive. So keeping this in mind, let's work out. The first question, 15 of them, that means the integers, are negative and 3 are positive. Now we need not worry about the positive integers. We are only looking at the negative integers. So here, what is the total number of integers? They've given us 18. 18 is the total number. In that, how many negative integers are there? 15. 15 is an odd number, isn't it? So if the number is odd, the sign of the product will be minus. You can write that in bracket in words also within brackets. So minus. So the sign of the product is minus because the number of negative integers is an odd number, 15. Second one, 12 of them are negative and 6 are positive. So again, we're looking at the negative integers and that is 12. So number of negative integers is 12. And the sign of the product will be positive because 12 is an even number. So it is plus or positive. Okay, so the sign is positive. So the sign of the product is plus. So let's remember these two properties. Keep these two properties in mind, this one and this one, when you decide about the sign of the product. Now again, 9 of them are positive and the remaining are negative. Okay, so totally there are 18, isn't it? So now let's write down. So how many negative integers are there? So totally we had 18. In that 9 are positive. That means if we minus 9, we will get the negative integers. 18 minus 9 is 9. So how many negative integers are there? 9. And 9 is an odd number. That means the sign of the product will be minus. Negative. The product is negative. Now, what if all are negative? So, how many integers are there totally? There are 18 integers totally. And how many negative integers are there? They're all negative. That will also be 18 because the question says all are negative. So total numbers 18 and they're all negative. So 18 negative integers, and 18 is an even number. 18 is an even number. That means the sign of the product will be plus, positive. Okay, if it's an even number, the sign is positive. Question 9, find which is greater. So here we have an expression and we have another one here. Now which of these is greater? So that means we need to work out each one. So let's begin with what is there on the left hand side. So let me copy down the question. 8 plus 10 is within brackets into 15. Now let's recollect BODMAS. BODMAS is the rule that we should follow when our question has more than one operation. Now here we have plus, we have multiplication, we also have brackets. So when we have more than one operation, we should follow BODMAS. According to BODMAS, first thing that we need to do is brackets. If there are brackets given, we have to remove those brackets. After that, we should do OF, then division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. So this is the order to follow when a sum has more than one operation. So here, as you can see, we have brackets, we have addition and multiplication. According to BODMAS, we should remove the brackets first. So we're going to do that. So let's begin by writing 8 plus 10. So 8 plus 10 will be 18. So now I can remove my brackets. I have simplified what is inside the brackets. 8 plus 10 is 80. So now I can remove my brackets. 18 into 15. So let me multiply 18 into 15. Let's multiply and see what we get. 18 into 15. 5 8s are 40, carry 4. 5 1s are 5, plus 4 is 9, 0. 1 8s are 8 and 1 1s are 1. 0, 8 plus 9 is 17, carry 1, 270. So here we have got 270. Now let's see on the other side what we have. We have 8 plus 10 into 15. Now here also we have two operations. We have addition and multiplication. And according to BODMAS, which one should we do first? Is it addition or multiplication? If you look at this, multiplication comes before addition. So first work out multiplication. So that means we have to work out 10 into 15. So this will be 8 plus 10 into 15 is 150. And 150 plus 8 is 158. Now can you see that though the numbers are the same, we have 8 plus 10 into 15. Here also we have 8 plus 10 into 15. But here the brackets has changed everything. Because the brackets have come there, our answer here is 270. Whereas on the other side, our answer is 158. So this expression is greater than this. So we need to write that. We need to write 8 plus 10 within brackets into 15. Now this whole thing is greater than 8 plus 10 into 15 without brackets anywhere. Question 2. Which is greater? 12 into 6 minus 8 or 12 into 6 minus 8? So on the left hand side we have brackets, on the right we don't have. So let's work out the left hand side first. So that is 12 into, in brackets, 6 minus 8. So according to BODMAS, brackets has to be worked out first. So we're going to simplify what is inside the brackets there. So 12 will remain the same into, now 6 minus 8, let's work it out. 6 minus 8. Now if a number doesn't have a sign, it's understood it's a plus sign. Now here, plus 6 minus 8, we are going to use the rules of addition. Okay, plus 6 minus 8, we're going to use the rules of addition. The signs are different. So put the sign of the bigger number. That is 8 is the bigger number. The sign of 8 is minus. And then subtract 8 minus 6 is 2. So what have we done? We have applied the rules of addition, which says when signs are different, put the sign of the bigger number and subtract. So here we have minus 2. So 12 into minus 2. So now it is multiplication and we're going to use the rules for multiplication. According to this, what does it say? If there is one negative sign, 1 is an odd number, so your answer will be negative. So that means my answer will have a minus sign. Now I have to multiply only the numbers. 12 twos are 24. So this rule is to be applied only for multiplication, where we say if there is only one negative sign, the answer will also be negative. Now let's work with the numbers on the right hand side. So here we have 12 into 6 minus 8. So here we have two operations. We have multiplication and subtraction. And according to Bodmer's, multiplication has to be done first. So let's work out multiplication. 12 into 6. 12 sixes are 72. 72 minus 8. So let's subtract 72 minus 8. Borrow 12 minus 8 is 4 and we have 6. So this is 64. So on the left hand side we have minus 24. On the right hand side we have 64 and 64 is the greater number. That means the expression on the right hand side is greater. So let's write down the question first. So the question here is 12 into and in brackets 6 minus 8. And on the right hand side I have 12 into 6 minus 8 and the right hand side is greater, we just found out. So we have to write our answer like this. Question 3. Let's copy down the question on the left hand side. So we have curly brackets, then we have common bracket with minus 3 inside, minus 4, and then we have curly brackets into, now we have minus 5 within common brackets. Okay, so now the curly brackets, we'll leave it as it is. First we'll remove the common bracket. So this is minus 3, minus 4, and then close the curly bracket into minus 5. So now we're going to remove the curly bracket. So we need to work out what's inside. So let me take that to the working column. So here I have minus 3, minus 4. So this is once again rules of addition that we're going to apply here. Signs are the same. So when signs are the same, we put the same sign and we add. So 3 plus 4 is 7. So this is minus 7. So let's write that down here. So this is minus 7 into minus 5. So now this is multiplication. As you can see, this is multiplication. And we're going to apply the rules that we have just learned in multiplication. So here let's look for the negative signs. So 1, 2. There are two negative signs and 2 is an even number. That means our product, that means our answer will be positive. So plus, and now I multiply the numbers. 7 5s are 35. So plus 35. Now let's work out what is on the right hand side. Here I have minus 3, minus 4 into minus 5. So according to Bodmer's, we need to work out multiplication first. That means I need to work out this first. Multiplication, that means minus 3 will remain as it is. So let me write minus 3 as it is. Now this let me work out. So as you can see, this is multiplication. We have to follow the rules of multiplication. There are two negative signs, 1, 2. Since there are two negative signs, the 2 is an even number. So my product will be positive. Now I have to multiply the numbers. 4 into 5. 4 5s are 20. Now let's open the brackets. Minus 3 plus 20. Here I use the rules of addition. So apply rules of addition which says when signs are different, minus and plus signs are different, put the sign of the bigger number and subtract. 20 minus 3, that's 17. So I've got plus 17. So you have to be careful when to apply the rules of multiplication and when to apply the rules of addition. So here on the left hand side I have plus 35. On the right hand side I have plus 17. So 35 is greater than 17. That means my expression on the left-hand side is greater than the one on the right. So let's write down this as a final answer. So that will be curly brackets, common brackets, minus 3, close brackets, minus 4, curly bracket, into minus 5. This is greater than minus 3 minus 4 into minus 5. So this is my final answer. Question 10. State true or false. The first statement is product of two different integers can be 0. That means when you multiply two different integers, you can get 0 as your answer. So let's see. Let's take 2 into 0. Both are integers. When you multiply, two zeros are 0. Now I can take 0 into minus 7, and 0 into any number is 0. So this statement is true. That is, when I multiply two different integers, I can get my answer as 0. So this statement is true. Next one. The product of 120 negative integers and 121 positive integers is negative. Now, negative integers are 120, which is an even number. So if you have an even number of negative integers, your product is always positive. But this statement says negative. So this statement is false. Third question. A into B plus C is equal to A into B plus C. So here when you multiply A into B plus C, when the brackets are there, first you multiply A into B, you get AB. Then you multiply A into C, you get AC. So AB plus AC. Whereas on the other side, A into B is AB, and here we only have C. So on the left side we have AB plus AC, on the right side we only have AB plus C. So they are not equal to each other. So this statement is false. Question 4. Here also we have B minus C in brackets into A is equal to B minus C into A. So let's work this out and see. So here also we have to multiply A into C and A into B. So A into B is AB minus A into C is AC. So on the left hand side we have AB minus AC. Now on the right hand side we have B minus A into C is AC. So as you can see, the left hand side and the right hand side are not the same. They are not equal to each other. That means this statement is false. So with this, children, we come to the end of this exercise. In our next video, we will continue with the other exercises. Thank you, children.